Have you ever felt it? That familiar, prickly heat of impatience rising in your chest? That little whisper of a voice that says, hurry up, go faster. Why isn't this happening now? We live in a world that breeds this feeling. It's in the spinning circle on our screen as a video loads. It's in the way we drum our fingers on the steering wheel, counting the seconds at a red light. It's the instant panic we feel when a website takes more than 3 seconds to load. We have conditioned ourselves to expect immediate results, instant gratification, and a direct, uninterrupted line from desire to fulfillment. We want the finished product without the process, the destination without the journey. We are a generation of people who hate to wait. And yet, if you look closely at the deepest, most lasting forms of success, of growth, of character, you will find that they are not built on a foundation of speed. They are built on a foundation of slow, deliberate, and often painful persistence. They are built on the twin pillars of patience and perseverance. For centuries, these qualities have been held up as essential virtues, and nowhere is this more profoundly articulated than in a passage that has guided countless souls through their most trying times. In the Bible, the Apostle Paul writes a truth that feels almost paradoxical to our modern minds. In Romans chapter 5, verses 3-4, he says, not only so, but we also glory in our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance, character, and character, hope. Think about that for a moment. He doesn't say suffering is something to be avoided. He says to glory in it, to find honor in it, because it is the very forge where true strength is hammered out. He gives us a divine, almost scientific formula for human growth. Suffering leads to perseverance. Perseverance leads to character. Character leads to hope. It's a chain reaction of profound personal development, and it begins with the humble act of enduring. This isn't some abstract, spiritual idea confined to ancient texts. It is the very DNA of our everyday lives. It is the story of every single person who has ever accomplished anything of true worth. Let me tell you about a different kind of waiting. Let's talk about a young student. We'll call her Maya. Maya had always been a good student, coasting through subjects with relative ease. But then she got to her college-level calculus course. It was a foreign language. The symbols, the concepts, the abstract logic. It felt like her brain simply wasn't wired for it. She would spend hours staring at problem sets, her mind a blank wall. She'd get one problem right, then miss 5. Her first exam came back with a score so low, it felt like a slap in the face. The little voice of impatience, the one she'd heard all her life, screamed at her, "This isn't for you. You're not smart enough. Just drop the class and save your GPA. It's not worth the struggle." That was her moment of suffering. The pain of intellectual defeat. The temptation to quit. This is where patience ceases to be just about waiting and becomes about fighting. Patience is the resolve to sit back down at that desk, to open that textbook again, to stare at that impossible problem, not with the belief that a quick solution will magically appear, but with the quiet, stubborn determination to not give up. Perseverance is the action that follows the decision of patience. Maya sought out her professor, went to the tutoring center, and spent her weekends not at parties, but in the library. She didn't have a sudden, aha, moment. It was a slow, painful grind of incremental understanding. A concept that was a brick wall became a door, then a window. The final exam was still a battle, but she faced it with a new confidence. The final grade wasn't a perfect A, but when she saw she had passed the course, the sense of accomplishment was more profound than any A she had ever received. Because that grade wasn't just a number. It was a monument to her perseverance. It was proof that she had fought a battle with herself and won. This isn't just an academic story. This is the story of every entrepreneur who faced 100 rejections before getting a single yes. This is the story of the writer who toiled for a decade on a manuscript that no one wanted to read. It's the story of the inventor who failed 1,000 times before finding the one solution that worked. Think about a professional. Someone we'll call David, a middle manager in a large, faceless corporation. He's been working on a new project for 2 years, something he believes will genuinely improve the company's efficiency and culture. He's put in long hours, built a team, and poured his soul into it. But the bureaucracy is suffocating. Every approval is a fight. Every presentation is met with skepticism. Every step forward feels like a step back. The political winds shift, and his project is suddenly put on the back burner. The temptation is to become cynical, to do the bare minimum, to just coast until retirement. He has a choice in that moment, to become bitter, or to be patient. Patience in the professional world is not a passive waiting for your turn. It's the active decision to continue to do excellent work, even when no one seems to notice. It's the strength to keep advocating for your ideas, to build bridges with those who oppose you, and to believe in the value of what you're doing even when the immediate returns are non-existent. David chose to be patient. He didn't give up. He found a different angle, a different approach, and a new champion for his idea. He endured the delays and the disappointments. And eventually, a small pilot program was approved. It took another year, but the project's success spoke for itself, and it was finally rolled out. His colleagues saw a man who didn't give up, and in his character, they found a leader worth following. His hope wasn't just in the project's success. It was in the knowledge that he was a person of endurance and integrity, regardless of the outcome. And what about our most personal relationships? The ones that are the very fabric of our lives? Patience is nowhere more vital than here. Think of a family, a parent raising a child. There are no instant fixes in parenting. There is no magic formula. There are days of tantrums, of defiant words, of heartbreak and frustration. There are years of giving without any immediate visible return. Parents plant seeds of wisdom and love, and then they must be patient. They must persevere through the rocky teenage years, through mistakes and rebellions, through the quiet desperation that their child might not turn out all right. The patience of a parent is a profound act of faith, faith in the child's potential, and faith in the slow, unseen work of time. It is a hope that what they have sown will, one day, blossom into something beautiful. This is the very essence of that chain. Suffering, which can be the pain of seeing a loved one struggle, produces perseverance, the strength to keep loving, keep showing up, keep trying to connect. That perseverance builds a bedrock of character, a person who is not easily broken, and that character becomes the source of genuine hope. So what does this all mean for us? What is the good message we can take from this? First, embrace the wait. In a world that despises it, patience is your superpower. It is the ability to find peace and purpose in the process, not just the outcome. It is the quiet understanding that the most valuable things, a mature mind, a loving relationship, a meaningful career, a work of art, are all built through time, not bought with a click. Second, reframe your suffering. Don't see it as a punishment or a mistake. See it as an opportunity. The moments of frustration, the setbacks, the painful experiences, they are not signs that you are on the wrong path. They are the very ingredients that will forge your endurance. They are the friction that will polish your character. Finally, trust the process. The Bible tells us that perseverance builds character, and character builds hope. This is a promise. It is the knowledge that every effort you make, every time you choose to endure instead of give up, is not a waste. It is a deposit in the bank of your soul. You are not just getting through a tough time. You are building the very person you are meant to be. So the next time you feel that little pang of impatience, that urge to quit, that desperate need for a shortcut, remember the chain. Remember that you are being offered a choice between the fleeting satisfaction of instant gratification and the deep, lasting fulfillment of a life built with patience and perseverance. Choose the long road. It is the one that leads to true strength, to unshakable character, and to an enduring, brilliant hope.